Today's episode is about the other schist disc. Another one was found in the Tomb of Sabu that they don't talk about.
In the Tomb of Sabu, there was another seemingly impossible item that no one talks about. I've tried to research it, but it's just not possible to get very far on this particular item. Apparently, it's somewhere in the Cairo Museum, but I'm guessing it's not on display because I've searched for it unsuccessfully on 2 occasions. I even went to the Grand Egyptian Museum, hoping that maybe it had been transferred there, but no sign of it. But I did find some other very interesting schist-style items while there. This is the item in question, and this is what they think it looked like before it was broken. Amazing, yes? It is listed as a First Dynasty toilet tray by archaeologists. Whatever a toilet tray is, I don't know. But let's talk about what we do know about this item and the place it was found. So, it was found in the mastaba, or tomb, of Sabu, which is dated to around 3100 BC, maybe 3000 BC. It is at Saqqara, and it was excavated in 1936. Oh, and it's a place they don't let you visit. I actually tried while I was at Saqqara. Inside the tomb is 7 rooms. The tomb had been ransacked at some time, and the things that were considered valuable at that time were obviously removed, because there isn't much left in some of these rooms. The things that do remain are pottery vessels, stone vessels, seals of King Den and King Anijib and Sabu himself. There's some cow bones, and of course, the body of Sabu. But there must have been other stuff in there, valuable stuff now gone. In the burial chamber, the objects that were in here with his body were some copper and flint implements. There's 77 pottery vessels, some ivory boxes, of course, some cow bones, some arrows, and stone vessels. And it's the stone vessels that we're so interested in. These are the ones we're now discussing. There are actually 48 stone vessels in here, and they represented about 20 different types or designs of stone vessels. And the materials used for these vessels consisted of quite a variety. There were 39 travertine, 7 meta-siltstone, 2 volcanic tuff. So, it's quite a bit of variety there. But it's the ones that are labelled meta-siltstone we're interested in, because they're often referred to as schist or even grey-whack. So, of these meta-siltstone items, one is the famous Schist Disk, which is also called an elaborately designed ornamental trilobe bowl. I think the Schist Disk is a better name. It's also called the Disc of Sabu as well, so it goes by a few names. And it was found in bits scattered around in one area of the tomb. But they were bits that could be put back together. Not as nicely as it should have been, but hey, this was in the 1930s. The Schist Disk is, of course, the most famous artifact from this tomb. It's on display in the Cairo Museum, and I had the pleasure of visiting it twice. In fact, I was even there at the end of the day on one occasion when everybody was queuing to leave, and I managed to loiter with it. And I was with the Schist Disk all on my own, which was a real treat because I could really study it. I could walk all the way around the glass case it was in and really have a very, very good look at it. So that was a great pleasure.
I can't believe it. I've got the Schist Disc all to myself. The place is closing, and here I am all alone with the most important relic in this museum. I cannot believe my good fortune. I just cannot believe it. I get to look underneath. I get to look everywhere without anybody being here. And honestly, if you don't see anything else in this museum, you have to see this item.
It's categorized as being part of what they call flat wide bowls. And these flat wide bowls are well known from the 1st to the 3rd dynasty, which is, of course, as you probably know, the earliest dynasties. And there are even some from the pre-dynastic time. Who would have guessed? Although the Schist Disk is an incredible achievement, the item is far from perfectly symmetrical, and it really does look more like a copy of something else that might have once been made in metal. And this, to me, is a key thing that I want to talk about, because there are other items that actually are even more made to look like metal. But we'll get back to that soon. So, is it schist? Well, it's schist-like. It has the look of slate or grey-whack, but the most accurate name, as I've mentioned before, is meta-siltstone. And that's very, very similar to slate. This type of stone has been used a lot for fine detailed items and intricate shapes, things like vessels, statues, palettes, and a lot of other objects. But it was only one of 7 of these items in the tomb. And I've only been able to find a picture of one other of these. And this is it. This is the one I mentioned earlier. Sadly, there wasn't enough bits to put the whole thing back together, but there were enough bits for them to be able to work out what it probably looked like when it was complete. So, what about the other 5 of these items? Are they just as impressive? Where are they? Are these one-offs, these 2 amazing Schist Disk items? Actually, no. There are quite a large number of these intricately carved meta-siltstone objects known from the early dynastic period. There are flower-shaped, leaf-shaped vessels, and there are ones that imitate basket work, and here's the kicker, some to imitate metal vessels. So it's like a stone vessel with simulated rivet heads. So this I found particularly interesting for something 4,500 years old, at least 4,500 years old, I should say. Archaeologists say that during the pre- and early dynastic periods, there was a high degree of experimentation. But why don't they mention that the skill level required to do this is seemingly impossible, especially with the perfection in proportions that some of these items actually do have? And all this using copper chisels and quartz-based stone grinding and gouging tools. It just doesn't make sense.